Hours ago. All right, I'm trying to get this 67 done. So by the time I want to be like at the end of March, right? We need to get there. We need to get there fast, okay? Because I'm trying to get my first YouTube check. So come on with it. Come on. So we are gonna read my book. Wait, oh, don't show crack. Where's my book? Where's my phone at? I gotta pee. Where's my phone? Yeah, I won't be back on later. I decided not to. Just enjoy my evening. That's what a lot of us are doing, right? We're enjoying our evenings. But whoever wants to come in, you're welcome. You're welcome to come. And then I'm gonna film my So I was editing a video. It's a movie review. I'm not gonna tell y'all what movie, but it's going up on Sunday. Might be going to church, but we'll see. Okay. So I was reading it last night. It's 189 pages. So yeah, come in for story time. Story time. Story time. After some good eating conversation and slicing. And this book is the unedited version because I have an edited version, but I'm gonna recheck it again if anybody wants to buy it for themselves. Um, and slicing the cake with my husband, it was time to throw the bouquet and say our goodbye to our guests. I stood in front of everyone and my bridesmaids, and everyone else looking eager to catch the bouquet, knowing would get married next. I tossed it in the air, and Isabella caught it. When all the wedding festivities were over, we walked to the limo, and Chris let me in first, and we waved at our guests as the limo drove away. I can't believe that we are finally married, and I could finally call myself your wife. Me too. I'm incredibly happy. I know you are, I could tell. So, where are we going for our honeymoon? I had no idea where we were going. Chris wanted to surprise me with the honeymoon location. I could have swore I fixed it. Okay. The Bahamas. The Bahamas. I've dreamed of going there, and now I get to go with you. Did you forget I know you, wife? I know you better than you know yourself. No, I didn't forget that. You know me, by the way, I love the sound of that. The sound of what? Being your wife. It was quiet for a moment, and then I broke the silence by saying, where are we headed now? Well, before we leave to get on the plane and everything, I thought we would go to a hotel and just have a night for the two of us. Jessica, hi, how are you? I'm reading the book that I wrote. There's a part of the book where she stole her husband, but you gotta keep on listening to hear it. I am good, and you. This could mean one thing. We're finally having sex after all the years of waiting. I woke up feeling good about myself. I was afraid that I wouldn't know what to do, but I did. Chris was impressed. I turned to my side and said, good morning, hubby. Good morning, wifey. You are a savage in bed. Well, what can I say? I love you, and I just want to make you happy in every way. Let's do it again. Chris ravaged me. I thought to myself, I don't know why everyone says their first time is bad. Mine wasn't, and the fact that we waited till marriage made it all the while we were each other's first. Or so she thinks. Parenthood. I looked up to my parents' relationship. The way they loved each other was magical. I just came back from my honeymoon and it was wonderful. I dreamed of being an author and I earned that, and I'm still making money to this day. Wink to myself. I've always dreamed of being a mother, and now that Chris and I have got our careers in motion. Before I continue, how is everybody? We are ready to have kids. I'm glad that I waited until my wedding night to have sex because it was amazing. It was good that we both waited like God intended us to. We've been married for 3 months now and we have enjoyed just the two of us, but now we want a baby. I wasn't pregnant yet, but I wanted to discuss it with my husband about trying. Good afternoon. How are you? We are reading my book that I wrote. I was reading a book about keeping your marriage fresh. Then Chris walked up and got into bed with me. Hey, handsome. Hi. Hey, handsome. Can we talk about something I asked? Yes, Chris said as he got into bed. Okay, how would you feel if I said I wanted to try to have a baby with you? I pondered to my husband. You sure, baby? I mean, are you ready to be a mother? Chris asked. Hi, everybody. Hi, welcome. We're reading. This is going to be my ninth book that I finished. Hello, hello, hello. Hola, hola, ¿cómo estás? Buongiorno. Hello. Welcome. Hit the like button. We are reading. After I'm done reading, we could talk. But right now we're reading. If you want to talk while I'm reading, we could do both. How is everybody? How's everybody's Friday night? What are we doing tonight? What are we all doing? I'm just live with y'all and reading. That's about it. um, yes, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, the sex we have been having lately is amazing, but it feels like something is missing in our lives. I said, it does, Chris said. When she want a baby boy or a baby girl in the palace, I asked if she, as she close as, yes, I think it is time for us to start trying now. Thanks, baby. So what do you want to do now? I asked. Well, since you're done reading your book, Chris and I went to get our loving on. A few weeks later in February, it's funny, we're in February now, I started feeling sick, like a nauseous kind of sick, and that wasn't like me at all. I never felt like this. Even when I would get my period, I couldn't go into a store, oh, bye, and buy a pregnancy test. I'm a queen by marriage, and rumors easily get spread about me. Y'all couldn't stay a little longer? Did I say the wrong thing? Oh well, you get what you get. Y'all just be scrolling through. You just be scrolling through. And for real, y'all just be scrolling through. As she walked through, boom. Um, where was I? Oh yeah, I'm a queen by marriage, and rumors easily get spread about me by the press. I sent one of my servants to buy a pregnancy test for me. When the servant came back, he gave it to me, and I told him thank you. After the servant left, I went into the restroom and I opened the pregnancy test box. I was legit nervous, like any other woman out there taking the pregnancy test for the first time. I thought about both outcomes. If I was pregnant, that would mean my life would change forever, and I would have this little person I would have to take care of. If the test was negative, that meant me and my husband would have to try again. After I peed on the stick, I waited 3 minutes. Those 3 minutes were the most nerve-wracking of my entire life. I paced in the bathroom, started getting butterflies in my stomach, and then the timer went off on my phone. I went to look at the test. It had the plus sign, and that meant pregnant. To be honest with y'all, I cried. As soon as Chris got home, I knew I had to tell him when he got to the door of the palace. I had the pregnancy test in my hand, and I handed it to him. And he asked her, "Is this for real?" And I said, "I'm pregnant." He hugged me and said, "I'm so happy." The first trimester was hard. When I was around other people, I was crying and constantly nauseous. I had to be near the toilet at all times. Morning sickness is no joke. People must have thought I was a crazy person, but I wasn't. I'm carrying life. One day I hope that happens for me. um, I wanted to tell people I was pregnant, but I decided to wait until after my first trimester was over. Once the second trimester came around, I told everyone I was pregnant. Some of them knew, and some just thought I was getting fat. Most of our country was overjoyed that a new baby was going to be born. My belly was getting bigger. I was almost 20 weeks, and I went to get my ultrasound done. I wasn't sure if I was having a girl or a boy yet. The gender didn't matter to me or Chris, as long as the baby is healthy. That's all that mattered to us. So I went to my doctor the next day with Chris when the doctor told us we were having twins. Yeah, she was having twins. I almost fainted and Chris did, but they were happy to know that they were having two bundles of joy instead of one. My due date was coming up, and since I got pregnant in February, I knew I'd be having my babies in October. Since I am 20 weeks, that means I am close to 5 months pregnant with 4 months left until I hold my babies in my arms. 2 more months until my baby shower. Chris was running like a madman, getting all the diapers ready ahead of time in the cribs and their room. We decided that the twins' room would be blue and purple. Blue for the boys' side and purple for the girls' side. She wanted to be different. Tabitha wanted to be different, okay? She didn't want to do pink. She wanted to do purple. In the summer, being pregnant is rough. I was finally 7 months pregnant, just 2 more months, I thought to myself. Every 5 minutes, I found myself needing to go to the restroom. And I realized I gained 25 pounds from this pregnancy. Chris was sweet to me the whole time. Anything that I needed help with, he did. He helped me get out of the car because being 7 months pregnant, it was getting harder for me to get out of the car. I missed eating sushi and other things. I knew I would love them just the same if anything happened, but still, I would be happy. When Chris and I had our baby shower, they had gotten so much for the babies. All our We had gotten so much for our babies. This is the unedited version. I have an edited version somewhere else. Um, all our friends had sent things over to us. They had gotten blue and pink or purple blankets, diapers, because God knows that they will need it. They had so much fun, but that's when it set in. Chris and I had the realization that this is no turning back. We are about to be parents of two beautiful children. I was in bed with Chris. Mind you, I was having contractions and trying to get some sleep. As soon as I tried to get comfortable, I felt something wet in the bed, hoping I didn't pee myself. But I started screaming in pain and realized that my water broke. I woke up Chris. Chris! I yelled. Yeah, Jessica, what's up? Chris asked me, all casual. And she's like, hey, it's time. I said, breathing while having the contraction. Are you sure? Chris asked. I looked at him with daggers in my eyes and said, you can see I'm in pain. Ooh, crap. I mean, I'm sorry. How far are the contractions? Chris said, trying to make up for what he said. I'm sorry. I don't, I mean, that is just, they're getting closer together. Just get me to the hospital now. I was turning red as I said this. Okay, fine. Chris helped me get up and took me to the Valentine's hospital and went to the maternity ward immediately. And I got a room quicker considering I'm a queen. Hello, Bestie. How are you? We're reading my book because I'm trying to get through it. So I thought I would read it to y'all. And like, there's my favorite part in here. So keep listening. And I'm trying to get through it because then I'll finally read book number 10. And I'll have 10 more books until I get to my one of my goals, my vision board. Hey, 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 reading my book. How are you? Almost birthday girl. Hey, hey. Uh, and I got a room quicker considering I'm a queen. I was in labor for 15 hours. Once they got there and I had gotten into the gown, I was in the worst pain I ever been in my life. I began to think to myself as I was writhing in pain, did Chris know that we were having twins? The doctor didn't want me pushed yet, so it was my husband, my parents, and Chris's came down a week before the due date and stayed for the birth of their grandchildren. My body's in pain. Oh, I'm sorry. Too much walking today? Or you just in pain? Where was I? Yeah, y'all can keep talking to me in the comment section. I'm just trying to get through it. And stayed for the birth of their grandchildren, waiting to see these two beautiful kids and what they look like. 20 hours later. Okay, we got 89 pages left, so I'm on page 100. It was midnight. Is it 89? Wrote the book. I should know how many pages there were. Yeah, 189. Okay. It was midnight on October 23rd. I don't know why I have a fascination with that date. And I was pushing with all my might. I was thinking to myself, damn, this is the hardest thing that I have ever had to do. Bring two babies into the world and be their mother forever? How am I supposed to do this? My face was so red and I was grabbing Chris's hand so hard and I knew his hand must be hurting. Okay, Jessica, I could see the first baby's head. Now give me a big push, the doctor said. I grabbed Chris's hand harder and I pushed as hard as I could. We both heard crying. It's a boy, the doctor said. I cried wanting to see my baby boy, but I had one more baby to push out. Ooh, oh, there's one more? I've never been in so much pain in my entire life. I said, she knew there was one more. See, this is why I had to, this is the unedited version. I put this book out last year, but I had to keep re-editing it because this version of the book has mistakes. The other version doesn't have as many. Wow, baby, you got some grip. I can't even feel my hand, Chris said in surprise and apparent shock. Well, now you know how I feel, I screamed. Huh? Chris asked. Never mind, Jessica said. Okay, Jessica, let's push one more time, the doctor said. Okay, I said as I pushed, and when I finally did, and I saw my beautiful baby girl, I knew that all the pushing was worth it. When I saw my beautiful baby girl and her little baby boy, it was worth it. And Chris looked so happy. It was a week after she gave birth to Hacienda, but it's spelled like Jacienda, and Spencer. We named our little boy after Chris's brother, and Hacienda was a name that I saw in a book. Oh, excuse me. How's everybody doing? So you're in pain. Ariana, how are you doing? Adriana visits us. Giving birth to my twins was the hardest thing that I ever did. That labor lasted for hours. People only show snippets of their pregnancy, which I think is true. I'm not down that road yet, but I want to be down that road in the next few years. And I feel like people don't really share the whole story, you know? Let me tell you that labor is not a walk in the park. I wanted my friend Adriana to visit us and see her niece and nephew. I had a flashback to her wedding day and to the moment when she pulled one of her bridesmaids, Adriana, to the side and when she said, "Look, Adriana, you have been like a sister to me since we were like 16 years old. And me and Chris were wondering, when we have kids, would you be an aunt to them?" they're going to need someone to turn to when we get on their nerves. Someone to call on when we move to Valentine's, I said as I fixed my dress. This is overwhelming. I have to decide now. Wait, are you pregnant? Adriana asked. Yes, you must. And no, you know Chris and I are waiting till we are married. We do want to have children. We're just being prepared. So do you accept? I asked as I fixed my wedding dress. Yes, I accept. Good, let's get me married. 2 weeks later, I sent Adriana a plane ticket. So this part of the book, let me explain because this sounded a little confusing to me myself. So this is the chapter before the one I had read. The characters were getting married, right? And then the next chapter, some of y'all missed it, but Tabitha, no, Jessica, wrong book. Jessica, I'm thinking about Virtual Boyfriend. Sorry, Jessica is pregnant. I sent Adriana a plane ticket to Valentine's. Adriana moved to Texas straight after graduation. She didn't have a husband or a boyfriend, but she did get a business license. Okay, where was I? And opened the Mint Boutique in Dallas. The Mint Boutique started off small, but with advertising and word of mouth and social media, more people started buying clothes. Let me move back because my back hurts sitting like that. She loves living there. Everyone is friendly towards each other, and there is no crime. She hired someone to take over the day to day work while she was gone and hired extra employees to work in the boutique. She had to get packing her suitcase and headed straight to the airport and caught her flight just in time. Meanwhile, back in Valentine's, I had my lady in waiting and Chamberlain cleaning the palace. Well, it interchanges throughout the book, and preparing the guest room for Adriana. She wanted it to look amazing when Adriana arrived. Not everyone gets lucky enough to marry a king, but I didn't like to flaunt that in other people's faces because they get jealous. Chris was a prince up until he married me. He went through a ceremony to become king of Valentines. For him to become king, all he needed to do was get married. It didn't matter if I was royalty at the time, but I'm a queen by marriage. However, if Chris hadn't gotten married, he wouldn't have been able to get to the throne. Adriana finally off the plane, which was the longest flight she had ever been on. She wondered why did one of her closest friends had to move all the way across the country. Adriana is happy to see her niece and nephew for the first time. She was so glad that she said yes to being their aunt. When Adriana looked around her surroundings, she thought to herself that she never wanted to believe, but she knew that she would have to. She had nobody to take over her business permanently unless she sold it and started anew. With all this thinking of her business back home, she had to look for the sign that had her name on it. She saw the guy with her name on his sign. He said, "Are you Adriana Soloris?" "Yes, I am," Adriana said. "Great. Would you like some help with that suitcase? The king and queen have been awaiting your arrival," the chauffeur said. "Okay, yes, you may carry my bag," Adriana said as she handed him her suitcase. The chauffeur took her to the limousine and took her suitcase, and when they got there, he opened the door for her. Adriana got inside and started a conversation. "So, how's it here in Valentine's?" "The food," Adriana asked. "The food is amazing here. How is Texas? I hear that is one of the biggest states in the United States aside from California." "Oh, yes, Texas has the best fried okra, the best barbecue. I lived in Palmdale, California. California has amazing food and places. You should go to the States. It is an amazing place to go." So this half of the book, it takes place in Italy. Valentine's is not a real place. I made it up, okay? So you could think Princess Diaries, but with a twist. Like instead of, you know how Mia finds out that she's a princess. The dude already knows he's a prince, but he reveals it to his girlfriend, Jessica, who later becomes his wife. Okay, just to put that out there. When Adriana got out of the limo, her jaw dropped. She couldn't believe her eyes. It was beautiful and well structured. She took up architecture before she settled on business. Adriana even saw bodyguards. She thinks that is a precaution. Not everyone loves the king and queen because they didn't. "Welcome to the palace, Miss Dolores. The king and queen have been waiting for you," the guard said as he opened the door to let her in. After the guard opened the door, Adriana's jaw dropped to the ground again. She felt like she was walking through the 16th chapel. There were gold doors and lion doorknobs. Adriana assumed that this is the country animal for Valentine's. As Adriana was admiring the palace, Queen Jessica and King Christopher came down the steps. Adriana was admiring the palace. Queen Jessica and King Christopher came down the steps. Adriana looked up at them and smiled. She wanted a relationship just like this, a loving and honest one. They have never cheated on each other. The only thing that Adriana didn't want is to be royal. It must be hard to have two babies and be the two bosses of a country. Adriana, I am happy to see you. When the last time we saw you? The wedding night, right? I asked as she began to walk towards her. Unedited version, I tell you. Yes, it is, girl. Come here, let me see you, Adriana said as she walked closer to the steps. I twirled around and then said, ouch. I still had some pain from giving birth. Hi, Marvin. How are you? I'm reading my book I wrote. Then we could, if you're welcome to listening. If not, I understand. A lot of people keep leaving, but I really want to finish because it meant a lot to me to write it. Your body snapped back quick after giving birth to the twins, huh? Well, I still have some work to do. Get it back to the way it was. This is actually a new dress. It's gorgeous. Chris was bored. Thank you, thank you. Wait till you. There's a fun like it's a little mini Freedom McFadden little twist in here. So I call it that. But I wrote it before I even found out who she even was. Chris was bored from this conversation because it was drifting to close. He didn't really like to talk about fashion much. Adriana's lips were moving, and she said, Chris, it is so great to see you again, Adriana said as she went to hug him. You two, I actually have some things to do. I just wanted to say hello and let you ladies catch up. Bye. Bye, Chris. I know, right? Speaking of high school, are you going to the high school reunion that's in a couple months from now? Adriana said as she gave her suitcase to the maid and she followed Queen Jessica to the kitchen. I hadn't heard about it until now. I guess the high school reunion committee couldn't find me nor my husband or forgot. But it's just so good to see you. Are you ready to see your niece and nephew? Yes, I would love to. With that being said, Adriana and I walked up the staircase. Adriana almost fainted when she walked past the guest room. Ooh, take a little pause. How was your day? How was your day? Got any stories? Anybody got any stories? Anybody at all? Want to take a little breather to breathe? Ooh, excuse me. Anybody got any stories before I continue? Tamara Buki. They said come get your husband because he lied. My light is flickering. Wonderful day for me. How's your day been? It's been pretty good for the most part. Had a little down moment, but I'm good now. See something wrong with my light. I just got this light for Christmas. What's wrong with it? And my light keeps flickering. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I don't appreciate that. Let's change it. I don't know, cause this light's flickering, and I just got this light like 2 months ago. Why are we flickering? Stop it. Why does it keep doing that? Okay. Jessica, this baby room is exquisite and huge. Hacienda and Spencer, the royal babies of Valentines. So, how does it feel to be a mother and ruling a country at the same time with your husband? We walk through the challenge and we learn. Huh? Oh, yeah, we walk through it and we learn. We learned that sometimes we gotta get us some friends. I want some single friends. I'm single. It's like I want some single friends. All my friends are in relationships or something. Like I want some single friends, which is great for them, but it sucks for me. Well, at first it was frustrating to be honest with your other mothers, with you other mothers. Well, at first it was frustrating to be honest. Well, other mothers don't tell you how hard it is to change diapers and the hours. Even though we have nannies, we get up in the wee hours in the morning. Just make sure that when you have kids, Adriana is prepared. I said as I let my friend know I'm parent. But Chris looks so happy though. Even though he left so fast out of the room. Is it doing that because, oh, you're single? Yeah, me too. I have friends, but they're all far. Like I have three main friends, and then I have YouTube friends, and everybody's far. Nobody's in the same state as I am. Nobody. And sometimes it sucks. Can't admit it is on live, but why not? It sucks not having anybody to hang out with. It sucks. Where was I? But Chris looked so happy though. Even though he left so fast out of the room. What was up with that? He's a busy man. He's king of Val. I wish this freaking light would stop doing that. But I do that, then y'all can't see. Yes, I'm a busy man, but I am a happy man. I have a beautiful baby boy and baby girl, and a gorgeous wife. I also heard the two of you talking about the high school reunion. Honey, what about the high school reunion? Well, it turns out that the committee could find us and invited us to the high school reunion. I kind of would like to go. I haven't seen my boys since the wedding. We decided together to go to the high school reunion. 2 weeks later, within 2 weeks, Adriana ate gelato, danced, because again, they're in Italy now. They're in Italy. Danced with Princess at a ball. Watched her niece and nephew while their mom and dad got some nights out to just have some fun. They are sweet babies, quiet, and don't make a fuss when she is around. They must know that she is family or like family. She almost didn't want to leave, but she knew that she had to, otherwise her business would go under and she would be bankrupt. She did not want that, so she gathered her things and said goodbye to her niece and nephew. The last thing Adriana had to do was say goodbye to her friend and her husband. Yeah, her friend and her husband. Jessica and Christopher, I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me into your home. It is so beautiful. And the ball the other night, I felt like a princess. Fortnite, I can't believe you go to these all the time. Yes, we do. You should move here with me and Christopher. We get you into any club, party, or ball as a special guest of the king and queen. What do you think, Abe? Christopher asked her. I loved my time here in Valentine. I really need to be getting back home. But I love you both. We love you too. High school reunion. I see you. Why? I don't know. Thank you. That was very sweet. It's hard. Like, part of me wants to date, and a part of me doesn't. And when I do want to date, it's not the right person. You ever feel like that? Like, sometimes it's not the right person. Or you just don't gel with them. You know? Adriana made it home just fine about 6 weeks ago. Christopher and I were about to see her again, even their fellow classmates, because it was time to go back to their 10-year high school reunion. My high school, they probably had one. I didn't go. I don't know if they did one. I don't know if it's a 20-year or whatever. I don't know if because right this year is hitting 15, so I don't know if they're doing a 20-year or whatever. But it would be nice to see my old classmates, because I only best friends with one, and everybody else I see them on Instagram or Facebook, and yeah, baby, who are you nervous to see? Christopher asked as he was changing Spencer's diapers. Well, babe, I would have to say Tanessa. She made my life a living hell. As we both know, I'm glad I didn't run into her at graduation back in the day, but she did run into her at her wedding. The last time she saw Tanessa was at her wedding. I said while she was changing Hacienda's diaper. Chris was tired of the drama with Tanessa and his wife. After 10 years, there's still an issue. No, getting into relationships is like a job. out of you. They got to get fill out the application, right? And if they don't check off everything on your list, they gotta go, right? I love these babies. They're sweet. Me too. King Christopher, there's a call for you from the King of Switzerland. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Think what Wednesday? Wednesday I got something to do. Wednesday night. Ooh. Uh. Uh. Mm, Thur- yeah. Thursday night. Gonna do 2 lives next Thursday. That's what we'll do. Oh, I definitely will. I definitely will. Thank you. Man, I haven't even had a chance to use that effect yet. Sims has an effect on the shorts. I was gonna post it to my personal Instagram. I'm like, no way, am I missing out on using that filter? Of course, I will be right there, honey. Can you finish putting on Spencer's diaper? After I finished change Hacienda's diaper, I went to go change my son's diaper. Her son peed in her face. She tried to dodge it while she was using the baby wipes, but it was too late. I began to think about my high school days, about my friend me, Tanessa. The last time I saw her, see, there's some inconsistencies here. Hopefully, I fixed it. Was when she snuck into my wedding. I went off to my royal duties, and hopefully, the next fiction book I put out with, I'm gonna have to edit a little harder. But even though this book is not the final book, mm-mm. 1 week later, Christopher, no, Christopher and I are back in Palmdale, California, at their old alma mater. They will be spending more time in Palmdale. They took the babies with them with the intention that they could spend time with their grandparents. Christopher was happy to take off from his king duties and unwind to catch up with his old buddies. This reunion has been 10 years in the making for some of them and has been that same amount of time since they've walked these halls. His wife, on the other hand, is terrified. I'm happy to see some of my old teachers and the friends that I was closer to. Were you reading from who wrote the book? I wrote it. See? I wrote the book. Uh, I hadn't seen Nicole and Isabella since my wedding day. Vanessa, it's been longer than that. After Chris and I got to Chris's parents' house, they got to talking and made love to each other. They like to do that a lot. Before I became a wife, I thought of sex in a different way, like just something to satisfy my needs. But so much more than that. I was glad I waited until I got married. I learned that it is what pulls a relationship together, and they have conversations about everything. They have no secrets. It was one of the best decisions I ever made. We showered and got ready to go. Of course, they. Hold on, y'all. I gotta. If you're wondering what I'm reading, I'm reading the book that I wrote. Um, long story about this book. Long story short, I wrote a version of this book in high school, and it took me a few years to write. I published it. It was the first book I published back in 2016, but then it did not do well. So last year I republished it, and it was supposed to have been two. It was supposed to be a three-part book series, but I just put the two sequels together in one book. Thank you, thank you. Hey, next year I get to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of my first ever book I put out, like officially. Not books I was writing in high school, but officially. That's crazy. 30 minutes later, we were back at our old stomping grounds. I had all the feelings of high school rushing back to me, and I thought back about my first day and how timid I was. Hello, Queen Jessica and King Christopher of Valentines. Welcome to your high school reunion. Excuse me. The person at the door said, looking at his jaw drop as he looked at the queen's dress. Thank you, but please, there's no need with the formalities tonight. Jessica and Christopher is fine. Okay, enjoy your night. Thank you. We walked into the big gym and there was music playing. When we walked into the room, all eyes were on us. I was annoyed by this just because we were our royalty. We weren't even when we went here, we weren't a part of the popular crowd. Chris and I blended in high school. They never tried to stand out. The questions started to come from everybody. Well, except when she was a cheerleader. But she didn't even stand out then either. How are your babies? Have you learned Balinese? How are the people? Chris, how do you like being king of a whole little country? Christopher said, we love our babies. When my wife gave birth, I understood what a woman goes through to carry a child. And that to me is so beautiful. All of you men out there, respect your women. I said, well, me and Christopher do speak some, but not a lot. We have a translator. Most of Valentine's is predominantly English speakers. So again, Valentine's is made up. It's a country in Italy, but it's made up. I made it up. Just wanted to put it out there. Christopher said, as far as the people, they are amazing, and we take care of them so they can live well. Now let's get this reunion started. Disperse everyone, I said. Everyone left, and out of the crowd, she saw her friends, Vanessa, Isabella, and Nicole. She saw Tanessa out of the side of her eye. She almost faded. She wasn't ready to talk to her. So she saw her frenemy, Tanessa and Jessica. They have been through it. And you stick around through the live stream. I'm going to read the whole book. Because I'm currently, this book number 9 for me. And I was just trying to squeeze in a short book so I could at least say I read 5 books this month. Instead of 4 like I did last. So, yeah. She saw, oh, Jessica! They said, ladies, I've missed you all. It feels like ages since we all talked. It has pretty much since your wedding. Oh, wait. You didn't even invite me. Vanessa cheerfully replied, I'm sorry, Vanessa. Yeah, whatever, Vanessa said as she walked away. Jessica, Vanessa was hurt by not being invited. How could you not invite her and invite that Jenny girl? She was annoying. I'm sure you don't even speak to her anymore, Nicole replied. You're right. I don't. Turns out she was hanging around and being a part of the wedding as a story to run back in America. She was using me because I'm royalty. So I ended our friendship. I should go apologize to her. I walked away from the girls and went to find Vanessa. I'm sorry, Vanessa, that I did not invite you. We just got out of touch. I should have reached out to you. I'm sorry that I didn't. I haven't heard from you since my 21st birthday. I thought you hated me. You know the phone works both ways. Call me, then you would find out, Vanessa replied. I'm sorry about that. Do you forgive me? No, Jessica, I don't. It doesn't work like that. Let's go back to the girls. So, Jessica and Vanessa never ended up being friends again. That friendship was done. You gotta make contact with your friends and keep contact. Thank you, thank you. Vanessa and I walked back over. Wait, there's a good part coming. Y'all gotta stay in the live stream. Then I'll do something else. We should be done. It's like 70 more pages left. But they're really, like, you see, I made the font like really big, so should be able to get through it really fast. And I gotta put some new nails on because they're all falling off. Vanessa and I walked over. To be honest, I didn't even care to try with her. So much time has passed. It was pointless. So Jessica didn't even want to try. Vanessa didn't want to try. So it was probably for the best that that friendship ended. Okay, do you feel the same way, Isabella and Nicole? You can't be serious. I know I haven't picked up the phone and called y'all since I told y'all I was pregnant. But you could have picked up the phone and called me, I said, with guilt in my heart. She forgot about her friends as she went on to college. Yes, I do. You felt all high and dry for your husband and your kids. Jessica, you forgot about us. It's okay that you did. We forgot about you too. See, she's a bitch. But we can work on building on our relationships with each other. Yes, Nicole, I do. And for that, I am sorry. How have things been with you and Mario? Are you two married now? At this moment, Nicole began to cheer up. She looked sad. Let's see if I could get into the acting cue here for y'all. Or at least for you, Marvin, because you're the only one that's in here. Mario got killed in a car accident a few weeks ago. We were 2 days away from our wedding day. I'm having a hard time coping with his death, Nicole said. I hugged my friend because I knew she needed it. Well, Nicole's going to take time. And why didn't you call to tell me we are best friends? If you ever need to talk, call me, okay? I know that we haven't been in touch lately, but I would like to get back in touch with all of you, okay? I couldn't believe what had happened to my friends. Nicole lost her fiance. Isabella's life is going really well. She is glowing and pregnant with her second child. As for Danessa, she's an accountant. I kind of saw that career for her. I always turned to her when I needed help with my homework. She was good at it, but now she hates me. Won't be calling her for help with my taxes. Don't forget to do your taxes, y'all. Yes, even royals have to pay taxes. We're not immune. I went to go talk to some acquaintances. I went to say hi to Adriana. When someone tapped her and said, Queen Jessica, may I have a word with you? The mysterious voice said, yes, you may. Hold on, sir. That gum was getting tired. How are we liking the book so far? There's a whole, then y'all, we're going to get to the sequel that was supposed to be in Jessica 2, but I just added it to the same book. Her true apology. When I saw who it was, a rush of fear came over me. I saw Tanessa out of all people. The last I seen her was at her wedding. Why does she keep saying her prom? She saw someone else. Uh, didn't want to see Tanessa Tortellini. The last time she saw her was her wedding. Hi, Queen Jessica. It's been way too long. Yes, it has. What, my wedding? I said, with a snarky look on her face. Yes, if only I would have ruined your dress or something. Tanessa vindictively said. Anywho, where's your husband? You must be married since then. It's been a year. No husband. I don't have a boyfriend. Actually, Jessica. Yes, express yourself. Actually, Jessica, can we go sit somewhere if that's okay with you? I'd like to talk to you alone. Tanessa said as they were standing in the middle of the gym. Okay, only because it is weird that we are standing here. Like, she thought it was weird. Tanessa and I began to walk somewhere. They could walk and sit down. I began to become confused. Why did Tanessa want to talk to her? Can we leave the past in the past? Then Tanessa said, I turned my life around. After high school, when Michael left me for Mary, I was devastated. I got depressed about it, and I went to seek help for my behavior. Tanessa was still hung up about Jessica telling Michael about her flirting with Chris. We're going to hold on for a second. We're going to hold on. What a snitch of her can't keep her mouth shut, even though it's been 10 years. So Tanessa basically did not get over what happened earlier chapters before. If you want to know what happened before, you gotta check out the book on Amazon. That's really good for you. I'm glad that you got yourself together because you were wrecking high school. But I don't get why you wanted to talk away from everyone. I wanted to do something I should have done 10 years ago. Now, let me get y'all in the author thing. She should have stabbed her or something because she was holding in that hanger, but I decided to write it a different way. What is that, Tanessa? To apologize. I'm sorry for pretending not to know you to know you when you came to apologize, and for all the altercations that we got into after that. I was wondering if we could be friends again. Tanessa asked. Uh, I had a funny feeling about this and felt like Tanessa was up to something, and she seemed sincere. But stunned by the question, she thought to herself, she'll be back in Valentine soon, but they could be friends again. Well, Tanessa, it has been many years, and I can tell there has been a change in you. People don't change. I don't think so. Uh, yes, there is. Thank you. So, are you ready to go back in there? Yes, Tanessa and I walked back in the gym, and everyone stopped what they were doing. Everyone in the graduating class knew that we were frenemies, and now they are friends again. I invited Tanessa to enjoy the night with us now that we buried the hatchet, and we all danced on the dance floor. Oh, how I love dancing with Jessica and her friends. I and it felt like old times, but I had something under my sleeves for Jessica. All right. Stranger Things. Yeah, I named it Stranger Things. I need to watch the show. Has anybody watched Stranger Things? I want to watch it. Is it any good? After leaving the high school reunion, Chris and I said goodbye to our friends, and we hopped back on a plane. We went back to Valentine's. We walked into the palace with our babies. Honey, it feels good to be home, I said as I grabbed a hold of my husband's hand. Uh, Chris looked at me and said, it sure does. All the crazy things that we have done together, the best thing is marrying you. My best friend, my soulmate. I know, honey, and that is the greatest thing of all. Now I'm going upstairs and put the babies down for a nap. Then I'm going to check the web. I'll come and with you, sweetie. Okay. I liked how Chris wanted to be with our kids, and how did I get so lucky? After Chris and I put the babies down, Chris checked in with his assistant. Now the assistant is gonna become a very vital part of the story, but you have to stick around to listen to what happens next. After I stopped coughing, what the hell? Um, I went to see what he had missed since he had been gone. Meanwhile, I've been thinking about writing another book, a parenting book about babies, and another one about pregnancy. 3 years later, me and Chris are 30 years old now. Our babies, Spencer and Hacienda, are walking, eating, and playing and thriving little 3-year-olds. So cute. My second book flew off the shelves, and the ebook is selling great. And my first book is still selling. Moms have been raving about this book, and there have been many reviews. Wish that happened for me in real life because it hasn't. Especially Chris's friends because they're dads now, too. We've been married for about 4 years now, and I love being married to Chris. But a thought has run across my mind. I want to give up being a royal. She did not want to be queen anymore. I've had that thought for about a year. As time went on, being a queen started becoming less fun and more of a hassle. I can't though, because Chris is royal by blood. Well, she could leave. He can't leave. And it is his duty to his people. One day, Chris was enjoying a moment with his son. No one else was around. His bodyguards were gone. There was a knock on the door, which was strange for Chris to hear. There was no notice that someone was coming. So that would have been the end of the first book, okay? That was the end of the first book. And then the second book would have opened with this next part. He's gone, Tanessa. After everything Jessica did to me, I knew that I needed to seek revenge. I booked a flight to Valentine's, Italy, and see Jessica and her boring husband. When I arrived off that long plane ride, I had gone to grab my baggage. It didn't come around fast as it should have. I found an Uber and gave the man the address. He knew the address because everybody knows the address because, as I said, they're royalty. He asked me if they knew I was coming. I said yes, even though I was lying. When the Uber driver finally drove up to the castle, it was beautiful. Looked like a palace you would see in the movies. I knocked on their door, knowing what I was about to do would change their lives and my own forever. Chris. I heard a knock on the door. Daddy, where are you going? Spencer asked as he played with his toys. I'll be back, son. I responded when I got up to answer the door. What are you doing here? I thought you and Jessica resolved everything at the reunion. I looked at Tanessa and saw a broken woman. A drunk woman. Did she mean to come here? I just saw her. I had no plans to see her again. I met Tanessa the summer when I moved back from Santa Clara, California. Jessica and I had just gotten back together. Tanessa started flirting with me. I haven't liked her since. Another thing that always bugged me, I didn't like that Tanessa and my wife would get in altercations. It was embarrassing. Okay, this part I gotta get my actor cue. I don't know who's still in here, but y'all, this is something great. I have free flyer miles with Air France, and I decided to come see dear old Jessica and you. She convincingly told him. He smiled. Well, that was sweet of you. Tanessa's face changed from a smile like this to something like this. Vindictive. You're gullible. I haven't changed a bit. Beautiful castle, though. I've always wanted to live in one, she confessed. It's a palace. Right? Tomato. Is Jessica here or not? I've been dying to see her, she lied. No, she's out shopping with our daughter. Damn, she's not here. She's murdered. So she was going to kidnap Jessica. But, keep listening. Why was she concerned about Jessica? She's a sad excuse of a liar. I can see right through her. What brings you out here? I wanted to see the sights and ask you a favor. What's the favor? Can we sit down? It was a long flight. Tanessa and I went to go sit down on the couch. Okay, Tanessa, what's going on? What did you need to ask me? He's acting nice, but I'm buzzed and I'm ready to get into my plan. I don't know if your wife told you, but I went to acting school in New York. I had small roles in plays, but I feel like movies are where I'm supposed to be. So she wanted to act in movies. That's where you come in. She smiled. No, she didn't. How do you know movies are your calling? My mother always said, acting is your forte. Says her, he muttered. Chris is testing me and insulting my mother. That's strike one. What did you say? She sounded out in wrath. Nothing, I spoke. Sure you didn't, she spoke. You know you're talking crazy, right? I always knew there was something strange about you. You think you could come into my palace and get what you want? Yes, and you're gonna give it to me, she aggressively said. You're delirious. I'm not making you a star. I don't have those kind of connections. We're in Italy, not Hollywood. How about Queen Jessica? Or maybe I could be your queen instead, she said with a creepy smile on her face. I didn't like him like that in this present time. I just wanted to see him squirm. I didn't want to be in this predicament. What was I going to do? Tanessa is out of her mind. I could lie or be honest with her. Besides, I want to get away from her. Queen, are you crazy? You know nothing about being a royal, and you want me to help you get into movies? Look at what you're doing. I said as I got from the couch. Yes, there was a time I flirted with him. I thought he was hella fine. Why did I talk like that? His honesty just cost him, though. Their son looked like the spinach image of Chris. Too bad his daddy isn't thinking straight. I'm going to make it. Tanessa Tortellini will be up in lights. I'm going to get what I want, Chris. I always get what I want. Say goodbye to your son, she said. As she grabbed a hold of me, Spencer was playing with his toys. Spencer saw what was going on and said, Daddy, where are you going? I'm sorry, son. I saw tears in my son's eyes. Let me see if I can find me some water. Oh, my leg. Oh, my leg. That's a lot of book to get through, but it still is good. It still holds up. That version just got some errors. Oh. Sorry to ever heard me burping and we all rewatching the replay. I'm sorry. I apologize. And then if anybody else doesn't have anything to say, or if the live don't get popped, then I'm gonna get off. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm just trying to get a goal here. And y'all won't see me live like that. But to be honest, I think people have abandoned the going live aspect. Like, I enjoy going live, but sometimes I don't want to be on live. I'm being honest with y'all. Alright, let's get back into reading. If anybody's still in here at that point, we could do something else. If not, I'm going to leave. Don't worry, I won't do this again. Cause I thought people would have been... I thought the title of the live would really, like, brought people in. But it didn't. It didn't. This is embarrassing. It was either go with her or something worse would happen to my family or even my kingdom. My mother always told me don't put your hands on the woman. Tanessa is no woman. She's a hot mess express. But nonetheless, I can't put my hands on her. I don't want a lawsuit on my hands. I would find a way to get back to my family and make sure that Tanessa suffered the consequences. Jessica, 3 hours later, Hacienda and I just got back from our mommy-daughter day. She is so sweet. I love my little girl so much. I cannot wait to have a daughter of my own someday. While we were looking at clothes, she said, Mommy, can I have a hug? Oh, wait. Mommy, can I have a hug? We came back feeling refreshed and happy. I saw something that turned my smile into a frown. My son Spencer is a happy child, but he looked sad. Deron, there's the assistant I was talking about. Chris's royal assistant, and I'm reading the rest of myself because ain't nobody even in here. What's wrong with Larissa from 90 Day Fiance? Let's go to her post real quick. Like, what happened to her? Oh, you're here? Okay. Cause I was like, who's here? Who wants to listen? I don't really know what people want out of my live streams anymore. Like, who wants to listen? Who wants to do something else? Cause I could finish reading this later, or I could finish it off and we could do something else. Like, whatever y'all want to do tonight is fine with me. On the plans, your girl don't really go out like that. Well, I'm gonna change that. Well, not at night, but you know, I don't like the idea of driving at night, so I stay home. uh, when he gets back home, I'm telling him that we should leave Italy. And I apologize. I've been doing all that burping. I'm sorry. And not be royal anymore. Being royal was fun at first. Like every girl dreamed of being a princess or a queen, and I was one of them. As time wore on, it became more invasive than anything. What was a joy became a nightmare. I know there's rules and everything. He must rule. It's his obligation. I'm royal by marriage. If he can't leave, I want a divorce. I can't take the bowing and the scraping, all that. And I want a normal life. I hope he feels the same way. If he doesn't, I'm leaving him. Which I don't know why Jessica thought that he would leave with her. He likes being king. I don't think she likes being queen. I'm leaving him. I'm taking the kids. The kids didn't ask for this to be royal. I called Durian back into the room after I was done collecting my thoughts. Yes, Queen Jessica. I want a search party out for the king right away. You want to alert the kingdom right away that their king has gone missing and you want their help in finding him? No, just the royal guards. I don't want to tell everyone else yet. Queen, maybe we should wait 24 hours. He'll come back home. It's the king, my husband. You must alert someone now. I've known this woman since I was a teenager. You have no idea what she is capable of. What is she capable of? She almost got me suspended my sophomore year of high school, flirted with Chris, and okay, my queen. I will get right on that search party. I want the king found too. Their revenge. 1 week later. After Chris and I left the palace, I rented a car from Otto Antonia de Maestro Donatella. I went in alone and I used a fake name and got the car. They act nice towards each other, but I got away with it. It was a long drive to Venice. The cities here are beautiful. I just had to see Venice before we stopped for the day. And we're stuck in a hotel room until the coast was clear. I am half Italian. Tanessa's half Italian, so she's a half Italian and she's black. If y'all didn't get that, so I guess you could say she's mixed. Um, when we got out the car, I made sure Chris was in disguise. Even though he just the king of Valentines, I'm pretty sure all of Italy knows of him. Venice is known by everyone as a romantic spot, and the canals make for great stoves. I know Chris and I have been in a hotel together for a week. I feed him good food from room service, and we talked. He is furious with me, but I had to change the clothes for him. But we were getting ready to move on. I knew we had to leave Valentine's. If I wanted to get away with this, I had to move and quickly. I was surprised they haven't found him by now. He's the king of Valentine's. I didn't think to tell her personnel to venture out to other cities in Italy. He's tall with a beard. He just doesn't have his royal attire on. I booked a flight to Seattle, Washington. I made a fake passport for myself and Chris in case plan A failed. I hoped that I would get away with help from my partner in Chris crime, Dionysa. If y'all don't know, Daya. A lot of these names came from movies or TV shows. That's where I got them from. Like Daya, her name came from Orange is the New Black because Daya was my favorite character on that show. is the same age as I am. Dionysa has a heart-shaped face, high cheekbones, beautiful green eyes, arched eyebrows, and a nose any model would want. I would admit I was jealous of her body. She had the curves that would make any man go crazy. We met in acting school. She told me that her ex-boyfriend's name is Chris, and that he broke up with her for another girl. She dates guys, but she had never had another boyfriend. She was never in a serious relationship again because this Chris person did her dirty. She was heartbroken and wanted revenge against him for leaving her. I told her that I would help her if she would agree to help me first. Chris is going to be in for a big surprise when he realizes I wasn't in this alone. This is going to blow his pity mind. A few hours later, it was 9 o'clock at night. Chris and I were at the hideout place. Sat him down in the chair with Diana's. Did her name change? I don't know. We just ignore that part. Dionysa, what are we going to do now? Well, we're going to take the blindfold off of him. You're dumb. Why? Then I just decided to tell her, the thing is your ex-boyfriend. Here's my what? Your ex. Dionysa. I saw red. I didn't want to get arrested for accessory to kidnapping. I just wanted to help my friend. I didn't need to be involved in this, especially with my ex-boyfriend, no matter what feelings I had towards him. I had to help him, but first, I had something get off my chest. I walked over to Chris, took off the blindfold. You really thought you could leave me? You broke my heart. Dionysa, damn, can you hide your anger better? What's going on? To be a royal, you can't be that dumb. You've been spending too much time around Tanessa. You're starting to sound like her. I am not. You are that. You are. That sounds like what she would say. It's beginning to clank down. Is it really? I don't know what you've been out of shape for. We were broke up when we were 14. I know you had a boyfriend since then, right? No, I loved you. Ever get that girl you couldn't stop thinking about back home? Yes, I married her. Hey, left hand, what's up? We reading my book that I wrote. See, that's me right there. But how are you? Give me a break from reading. Shoot. How's your day? I thought the title, I named the live like she stole her husband, thinking that would have been a juicy title because that's what happened in the book. But I guess it wasn't juicy enough. Look at her mouth, cause it was dancing next to me, singing, she looked good. What's everybody doing tonight? I guess everybody must be doing something. Oh, Portia's ex-husband got detained by ICE. Ooh, sir. Sir. Ooh, sir. Sir. Mmm. This chat would not laugh because it's terrible what they're doing to those people, but you did her dirty. Alright, well, I'll get back to it. The word was like, oh yeah, yes, I married her. My heart broke into little pieces. I hoped I could win him over. But marriage, I can't get in the way of that. I knew I could move on after all these years. These lingering feelings, I just couldn't stop thinking about him. Congratulations on your marriage. I'm sorry I participated in this. I feel like an idiot. It's been a whole week since, so we're back to Jessica now. It's been a whole week since my husband's kidnapped. Okay, we got 49 pages left. I might get off or I might stay. It depends on y'all. You want to see me play the game? Like, what are we doing tonight? What do we want to see Jasmine do? Like, what do we want to do? I tried doing something different with my hair. It did come out cute, but I might have to like curl my hair again. Uh, it's been a whole week since my husband's kidnapping. I miss him so much. I have everyone looking now. Even some villagers, kingdom, whatever, volunteered to help find him, but they didn't have any luck finding him. I thought of places he could be. I knew he wasn't in Valentine. She must have taken him somewhere in America. New York, where Tanessa lives. Santa Clara, where Chris moved to. Or Ponda, where we fell in love all over again. I wanted to take this trip alone. I don't need bodyguards following my every step, even though I am a queen of a country. I decided to call the kid's godmother, Adriana, and asked her would she like a free trip to Valentine's. She loves free things like drinks and clothes. Even though she owns a boutique in Texas, she can't resist free things. I picked up the phone and dialed her number and waited for her to answer. Hello, it's Adriana Solari speaking. Hi, Adriana, it's me. I need a favor. Girl, you're always calling for a favor. It's the same damn one. You hardly call to say hi anymore. Let me guess. The favor is to watch the kids, right? I have a business to run. I can't get up and hop on a plane and go. I thought that Adriana would have been more understanding. I must tell her what happened to Chris. I'm sorry I haven't called to say hello. Things have been hectic around here. And this is serious. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't. Okay, what's going on? It's probably been in the news over there, but Chris has been kidnapped by no other than Tanessa. She crossed the line with the kidnapping. I guess she was looking for me and took him instead. I can't believe she did this. I guess I could come down and watch them. But what about your parents? What about Chris's? Do they know that Chris is missing? And do they get to see the kids? My parents know. I told them as soon as it happened. I wanted to go down to see his mother first and tell her in person. She doesn't get to see the kids, especially here in Valentine's. Oh, okay. Adriana did make a point. Adriana has a boutique that she is struggling. Every time she leaves, she loses profits. Jessica, are you there? Yes, I'm here. You're right. I'll take the kids to see their grandparents in Santa Clara. Thank you so much for understanding. Love you, doll. Say hi to the kids for me, okay? She said I will, and I love you too. Bye. Adriana is kind of a shitty friend. Hi, Queen. So what's the game plan? Game plan? Yes. Well, I'm going to take the kids with me, and we're going to Santa Clara. I'm going to tell his parents that he is missing. You need some support? You want to come? Don't look at me like that. I care too. I just think I can help you with the kids. That's all, and help you find him. Okay, you could come too, but I'm paying for your ticket. Oh no, I could pay for my ticket. I just want the king found as well. Save it. You can pay for dinners or something. Okay, well I'm going to pack. Okay. I made a phone call to the airline for 4 tickets to Santa Clara from Valentine's. I went to pack up the kids' clothes and mine. I packed a lot because I didn't know how long we would be gone. Spencer and Hacienda were playing on the floor. I had told them that they were going to visit Grandma in California. Mommy, which grandma are we going to visit? And where's Daddy? Hacienda and Spencer have been asking me where their daddy is since he disappeared. They're only 3 years old. What am I to say? The only thing I think of to say is he'll be back soon, kids. Now let's get ready to go, okay? Okay. Dion, are you ready? Yes, Queen, I'm ready. You're prepared, huh? Well, yes. I've never been out of Valentine's. I've lived here my whole entire life. Now, you get to see somewhere new. Now let's get going. We don't want to miss our flight. So they got on their flight, this and the third, and we're back to Chris. Dionysa, how could you be a part of this? I thought you were smarter than this. I wanted to help Tanessa. I didn't know she wanted to kidnap a famous king. You can go to jail for even participating in this. I could turn you in. I know you could, but I hope you won't. I'm not. Tanessa was the mastermind behind this. Besides, I'm not the person she was after. Water break. There's no water. Yeah, everybody done left. I'm gonna get off soon. I've been on for an hour trying to read this book. Our live stream is not where it's at anymore. Like where does everybody go? Y'all got to go into other people's lives or cooler. Like where does everybody go? Dionysa began to look confused. When I dated her, things didn't click easily for her. She was ditzy, and I see after all these years, she hasn't changed a bit, but she's helping me out. Then who? My wife. I think she wants to kill her or something. You must help me get back home before it's too late. Dionysa looked hesitant like she didn't want to. Then she said, let's nail her. Dionysa took the handcuffs off of me. I was happy my wrists were killing me. You're gonna have to be very quiet. Why? Tanessa's got bionic hearing. She can hear from a mile away. Okay. Telling my mother-in-law. We made it to Santa Clara, California. I visited Santa Clara with Chris during college for Thanksgiving break. Santa Clara is known for its university, which is the oldest institution there in California. Excuse me. Levi Stadium is located there as well. Darren and I were in the taxi with the kids in complete silence. I told the driver to drop us off at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We could have taken the shuttle, but I didn't want to get recognized. And Darren understood. When we got to the Enterprise, we paid for the rental and they gave us the keys to the car. The car is a Lincoln Navigator. We don't have that type of car back in Valentine's, Italy. The drivers take us where we need to go, except for the exception of my giving birth. The kids love the car. Now I'm back reading to myself again. I can't read anymore on live. I'm about to go, y'all. I want to finish reading, of course, because I love the book, but my voice, it hurts. Goodbye. See y'all tomorrow.